This is Part 2 Episode 139. After 3 continuous rounds, it produced about 3,000 bugs altogether, and all of them were the same green praying mantis. The green praying mantis was a very common cannon fodder seen in the Bug Clan warriors. Even though they were called cannon fodder, these were still cannon fodder that battled outside the starfields. Luckily, the entire power of the Bug Clan mother nest had been prearranged. Otherwise, a true mother nest could produce many different species of bugs. From their abilities, they could be split into the scanning types, assassin types, long distance, attacking force, etc. If they were split according to their structure, that would be even more. 3,000 green praying mantis. Luo Feng looked at the mantis that flew or marched over, as they covered both the land and skies. Creasing his eyebrows, the mother nest sent everything it could at one go. The next batch should be 20 minutes later. The mother nest required time to produce the bugs. These 3,000 were prepared long ago. Of course, in reality, the mother nest's ability wasn't that weak. Otherwise, how could it easily dominate a galaxy, or entire star field? 5 minutes later, Luo Feng's right arm was broken, his expression pale, his spirit energy usage was extremely high. And with 82 of the 100 teams left, 82 blood mantis were leading 353 green mantis. Luo Feng killed a lot more green mantis. If I've reached the 9-thread level, pity. Luo Feng faced the overwhelming force of the Bug Clan from all directions, almost seeing the scene of him being devoured beforehand. Even if I die, I have to kill more. Luo Feng's eyes went red. Bug Clan, all of you go and die. Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle, and his speed accelerating even more. Against the 82 little teams, he clashed and killed one green mantis at a time, and occasionally killing a blood mantis with great difficulty. Luo Feng fought until there was only 76 teams left, while his entire being had gone insane. Even under such strenuous situation, his whole being felt ice cold. This was the quality of the golden horned beast. Luo Feng felt a familiar ripple of space movement, gradually feeling slightly different. It's this way. Just like this. Luo Feng could even feel the square domain formed within the space, almost as though it was a 9-palace grid. Immediately Luo Feng's speed increased obviously a little. At the same time, in his surroundings 9 images formed. 10,000 thread second level, 9 threads. Even though his speed had only increased a little, and there was only one more image than before. However, in truth, it was a change from the foundation itself. Secret technique. What was a secret technique? The secret technique was a way to unleash the strength after understanding the origin laws, reaching a more effective way of usage. If one comprehended the space origin law, producing 3 images, 4 images, 8 images, 9 images, he would feel the limit of his strength increase. Even though the difference between 8 images and 9 images wasn't too big. However, after training the 10,000 threads technique, this was completely different. Each thread represented a special battle technique. 9 threads, however, represented another special technique. If one reached 9 images, only then could he use the 9 threads. 8 images wasn't sufficient. And Luo Feng's Mozhan clan clone trained for a long time. In truth, the Mosha clan could produce over 100 images much earlier, considering it was favored by space itself. It could naturally unleash it easily. And while Luo Feng was in the virtual universe, his body had been stuck at the limit of 8 images. In times of crisis, madness, Luo Feng could finally feel that special feeling, similar to the Mosha clan using the 9 threads feeling. Because it was a familiar feeling, Luo Feng swiftly grabbed onto it. The plaza, over 1 million geniuses along with the Undyings, all watched that one remaining screen. The only remaining participant, Luo Feng, suddenly unleashed his strength and produced 9 images, destroying all the Bug Clan in a sweep. The scene had made all the geniuses go totally silent. 9 threads. He actually reached the realm of 9 threads. The scale-armored giant 13 watched the screen, his eyes giving off a heart-palpitating gleam. 9 threads, 13. Your Ganwu universe country hasn't had any punks make it into the top 20 for over 100 competitions. Who'd knew there'd be 2 of them this time? Haha, Mo-so is right. There are 1,008 universe countries here, and you've taken up 2 slots. Around him, The Undyings all laughed and made fun of the scaled armor giant. Even though Luo Feng's performance was extremely shocking to these pinnacle of strength Undyings in their own universe countries, he was still nothing but a punk. Didn't the AOGU Psi Planet siblings both make it to the top 22? The scale-armored giant revealed a smile on his face. Ha ha, you punk, you actually know how to laugh. It's very rare. I've met him 3 times during this 100 eras. This is the first time I've seen him smile. He's proud. So, of course he'll smile. The surrounding Undyings were all chatting and laughing. There were a total of 1,008 Undyings here, and the scale-armored giant was naturally sitting with those he was on better terms with. These powerful Undyings, some were friends, some enemies, some with distant or close relationships. Naturally they formed their own cliques and chatted. Ha ha, what do you all think of this Luo Feng from my Ganwu universe country? The scale-armored giant looked at the surrounding Undying, reaching the space-flying technique 10,000 threads to the 2nd level, and the Nanshan armament, capable of brandishing 9 blades. One dark green long-hair man with a huge nose, his gaze seemingly endless like the ocean, calculated. His basics are very solid, his temperament is steady and calm, and his potential is very huge. His current strength can rank in the top 10, and she can indeed make it to the top 10. In the plaza, over 1 million geniuses looked up at the screen of which Luo Feng was making his way into the 1st level of the 6th tower. Your Majesty, this Luo Feng is very strong. An iron-like man, who was like a steel cast, said softly. Beside him was the silver-armored black-haired youth. The Mancha Prince had ranked 18 in this round. His eyes gleamed as they stared hard at Luo Feng on the screen, saying, I admit, I made the wrong conclusion before. From earlier, the Mancha Prince had even said, from the looks of it, he can't take it anymore. He won't be able to make it past the 7th level of the 5th tower. I estimate his final rank will be around 9 or 10. Even though he's higher than me, however the training space is different from a 1v1 match. In a 1v1 match, he definitely isn't my match. I have confidence I can defeat him. He was still filled with confidence before. However now, what a strong opponent. The Mancha youth's eyes gleamed like crystals, completely locked on Luo Feng, his training the 10,000 threads. He's already reached the level of 9 threads, a strong opponent indeed. If I want to enter the primal secret area, this Luo Feng will be a huge barrier. I will definitely defeat him. Following which he clenched his fists tight, sparks of lightning flashed. Luo Feng. With messy hair, bare feet, the wild youth savage Rong Jun stared hard at the screen, saying softly, he's already become so terrifying. However, no one can stop me. I will definitely become the strongest, I definitely will. Covered in a black robe, a youth amongst the other geniuses stared all at the screen, saying softly, Luo Feng. Enjoy the spotlight, just watch, very quickly, I will let you all know, that training space is just a camel beast's shit. I will defeat all of you. Including that death god Bolin, the elite and most outstanding of geniuses were gathered here. All of them didn't submit easily, all of them had absolute confidence and pride. However, almost all that had made Luo Feng their opponent weren't easy to mess with. He can't continue anymore. He's about to fall, even though he's strong. However, the 6th tower's difficulty is much higher by a few times compared to the 5th. Oh, he's injured. It's going to end soon. The geniuses all started discussing. During the 1st level of the 6th tower, the battle was already at its craziest point. Genius battle. The final participant Luo Feng killed 6,892 blood-hair mammoths. This was comparable to the previous ranked 2 to 6, stopping at the 1st level of the 6th tower. Final rank, 3. Luo Feng felt the space before him turn, and after which he appeared in the plaza. The geniuses of the human race from the different universe countries all looked over. Luo Feng's gaze swept past them, swiftly determining the location of the Ganwu universe team, and heading over. That's Luo Feng. Final rank 3. I have never heard of him before, yet he's that strong. Within this training space process, suddenly a lot of people popped out of nowhere. However, this Luo Feng, he belongs to the strongest of those that appeared. Hearing the various discussions about, Luo Feng walked back to the Ganwu universe team. Madman, you really gave me a shock. You are truly vicious. The green-haired youth windmill shouted, Luo Feng, congrats, congratulations. The other youths that Luo Feng wasn't exactly very close to all smiled and congratulated him. After all, 99% of these people knew they had no hope of making it into the top 1,000. Luo Feng, Rong Jun, follow me. That thick voice resounded within Luo Feng and Ron Jun's ears suddenly. Luo Feng and Rong Jun turned to look at an area within the plaza. The 1008 Undyings had already stood up and flew towards their own teams, of which the scale-armored giant immediately reached the Ganwu Universe team and shouted, all of you head back to the living quarters. Rumble, 1008 teams of geniuses, under the leadership of the Undyings returned to their quarters. Skyscraper 0825, Level 1. The 1000 geniuses of the Ganwu Universe country all stood there. Under the pressure of the scale-armored giant, all of them were extremely respectful and silent. This time, our Ganwu Universe country's team's performance is very good. The scale-armored giant's voice resounded within the entire Level 1 hall. It was rare for him to actually praise them, except for Luo Feng and Rong Jun making it into the top 100 and gaining direct entry into the core of the Virtual Universe Company. There are 3 others who made it into the top 7,300 and gained the right to contest for the final 900 slots, and other than these 5, everyone else, your pinnacle genius competition ends here. The scale-armored giant said, causing the geniuses from the Ganwu Universe country to get slightly depressed. Even after fighting for so long, right now they were simply eliminated. You all can return to reality now and leave here. You can also wait a while and the Virtual Universe Company organizing team will send you automatically back to your universe country continents. The scale-armored giant said, Luo Feng, Rong Jun, you 5, follow me. Following which he took long strides towards a walkway. Luo Feng, Rong Jun and the other 3 followed. The atmosphere within the large hall was depressing. It has ended. Our journey has ended. Ha ha. Everyone, even though we've failed, we've still been offered to enter the Ganwu secret area. That's not bad too. Even though I'm weaker now, I don't believe that I will still be weaker in the future. We are only star level now. The training process has just begun. There is still the universe level, domain lord and sector lord level. Our journey is still far and long spoken well. Even if you enter the core of the Virtual Universe Company, it's still extremely hard to become undying. And our Ganwu secret area, too, can produce eternal undyings, right? Let's go, we'll go drink. These young ladies and gentlemen all had the right to enter the Ganwu secret area. Except for a few that returned straight to reality, a large portion of them left towards the restaurant in the plaza. At this time, the 1000 geniuses of the Ganwu Universe country split into 2 paths. Many of them entered the Ganwu secret area. A few entered the core of the Virtual Universe Company. How the future unfolds, no one knew. The geniuses were still considered calm. The 1008 universe countries, however, were bustling with excitement, especially the countless citizens in the over 1 trillion galaxies within the Ganwu Universe country. That was a gathering of over 1 million absolute geniuses from the many universe countries. In the top 20, there were actually 2 from their own. What degree of honor was that? Our Black Dragon Mountain Empire actually has a genius who made it to rank 3. That's the entire universe, is from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. My god, Luo Feng is too strong, entire universe, that's 1008 universe countries. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire was completely stunned by this piece of news. Even though the Black Dragon Mountain star field could be considered vast and endless, compared to the 1008 universe countries, that was simply tiny. Even the Ganwu Universe country hadn't had a genius make it into the top 20 for a very long time, much less the tiny Black Dragon Mountain star field. There probably hasn't been one in the past trillion years. Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain. All of the Black Dragon Mountain's internal websites broadcasted this news day and night. Any footage regarding Luo Feng, the passion and support for him within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, had reached an unbelievable level. Even the Emperor of the Empire said excitedly, Luo Feng is from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire, he is the hero of our empire. This little starfield that wasn't even worth a mention, because of Luo Feng, gained recognition from many citizens from other universe countries. Luo Feng is the hero of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. A news broadcast spread on the Black Dragon Mountain Island sites. The Emperor exclaimed, "He's from our Black Dragon Mountain starfield Milky Way galaxy. I've decided to officially give him his home, the Milky Way galaxy. From today, he is the leader of the Milky Way galaxy." The Emperor decreed. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire's imperial family were all prepared. In truth, the Emperor had already earlier on promised to give the Milky Way galaxy to Luo Feng. However, with the public declaration, obviously it was to raise Luo Feng's position even more. Luo Feng, to be able to gain such a reputation within the empire, the work by the imperial family was nothing to be sneezed at. Bastard. Brolin sat in his study, gritting his teeth hard, breaking the cup in his hands. It's over. There's no more hope. The entire upper echelon have all decided to rope in Luo Feng. The imperial family, along with the backing sacred land Black Dragon Mountain, the upper echelon all decided to use all their strengths to try and rope in Luo Feng, with his home galaxy and relationship. As long as he doesn't die. Also with his rank 3 talents, he will definitely have enough power in the future even within the Virtual Universe Company core. Virtual Universe Company, one of the 5 great Leviathans, even standing ahead of the other 4 themselves. Even the 1008 universe countries had to respect the 5 Leviathans. The moment Luo Feng grasped solid authority, during times of crisis, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire would exhaust their resources to help him. As for that 9th Prince Brolin, he wasn't even considered amongst the upper echelon of governance. How could he sway any of the decisions by the empire? It's over. Nuolan Shan looked at the screen, his eyes unwilling. With his status as a core member of the Virtual Universe Company, the moment they discover me, killing me would be as easy as killing an ant. Seclusion. Nuolan Shan grit his teeth. Unless I become stronger than him in the future, otherwise I'll have to remain forever silent, not leaking any trace of myself at all. Since it's come to this. Nuolan Shan's eyes gleamed coldly. Then I will go outside the star field to the battleground. Otherwise I'd have no chance of ever exceeding him. Nuolan Shan was a ruthless and absolute person. To be able to survive 1,000 life or death battles in the huge axe dojo, that was also a strong decisiveness. The moment he detected danger, he left his nest. And now, he sat in a universe ship and immediately left the planet Earth. OMG, what? Luo Feng is the leader of the Milky Way galaxy. North America continent, Washington base in America. A group of upper echelons were shocked. Leader of the Milky Way. How can that be? Before, the information we gathered from the virtual universe all stated that a universe-level warrior could acquire tens of planets as territory. Only a sector lord could be given a galaxy as territory. According to the information, sector lords are terrifying warriors that could destroy the Earth with a flip of their hands, even stars. Or the white dwarf planet was nothing in the face of a sector lord. How did Luo Feng get such a gift? The upper echelon of America were extremely shocked. The 5 great countries of Earth, even though they were grateful to Luo Feng, however they weren't like the Chinese, bound by blood ties. The other countries were actually a little unhappy. Why did the leader of Earth have to be Chinese? Why couldn't he be from America, or India? Of course, no one dared to voice themselves, but the news now had completely stunned them. Attention all, please allow me to explain the meaning behind the Universe Genius competition. A golden-haired lady said, once you've heard it, I believe you'll all understand Luo Feng's current status, and what he represents. Why he can actually receive the treatment of a sector lord, Milky Way leader, haha. Luo Feng sure is powerful, old Wang. How many life planets are in our Milky Way galaxy? According to the information from the Virtual Universe Network, the Milky Way galaxy has over 210,000 life planets. Haha. Over 210,000 life planets. And they are suddenly all Luo Feng's. Alright, fight for our Earth. He's also fought for the name of our Chinese people. We Chinese, even though we've been regarded as aboriginals, however from us a genius has appeared and made it to rank 3 amongst the entire universe. The 5 great countries of Earth, all the leaders of the bases received the news, all dumbfounded by the Milky Way galaxy leader news. However, the leaders didn't tell the ordinary citizens. In truth, the majority of the people of Earth still didn't understand much about the universe. The upper echelons of Earth didn't want to allow them to connect with the universe that quickly either. three Road Brothers improvement are really shocking. Sitting cross-legged in a cottage, the black-clothed youth Hong opened his eyes. I can't relax either. Teacher sure has weird friends. An undying is actually willing to live on a planet without any technology. His gaze swept through the cottage, looking at the outside world and hundreds of kilometers of sky. In that sky were several wild men dressed in animal fur flying about. This planet was the living quarters of an undying. The entire planet was conditioned in a very primal state. The humans of the planet all forced out their potential energies and gradually created sects. And this was the living quarters of an undying. These sects didn't even seem to know. There was an undying of the universe living here. Hong, let's go. The time sector Lord Luo suddenly appeared in front of the cottage. Hong immediately stood up and flew, sitting in a universe ship and leaving the planet. The aboriginal sects of the planet didn't even know that two strong warriors of the universe had just passed through. Not bad. I allow you to rest. Lord Wu shouted, not enough, still not enough. 30 has already made it to rank 3, my improvement is still not enough. On Mars of the solar system, Thunder God was training according to Lord Wu's plans, improving himself. Luo Feng didn't seem to know that his being ranked 3 TD in the entire universe had such an influence. He was with Rong Jun and the other 3, listening to the lecture from the scale-armored giant. Tomorrow the duels to get the remaining slots depend on your performance. Understood? You 3 can leave first. Luo Feng and Rong Jun stay. The scale-armored giant said. Immediately the 3 other youths left the huge room respectfully, leaving behind only Luo Feng and Rong Jun. The scale-armored giant's gaze landed on the 2 of them, rank 13, rank 3. The giant's voice was thick and powerful. That powerful pressure caused both Luo Feng and Rong Jun to barely be able to maintain standing. Are you both feeling proud within, thinking you are very strong? No. Savage Rong Jun said, the training space doesn't prove anything. Luo Feng said too. The scale-armored giant roared slightly. It's good you two still managed to keep calm and collected, not letting this small honor and glory get to your heads. Right? Luo Feng, what you said was right. The training space doesn't prove anything. Let me tell you, the top 10 of the training space consist of 2 fighters and 8 spirit reader controllers. Luo Feng's expression slightly changed. There were actually 8 controllers in the top 10. Understand, this training space has a big advantage to spirit reader controllers. Next to fighters. To Hynoptists, it's the worst. The giant said, that Howling God clan genius Jiolai Shi, many of us undyings have regarded him as being of the top 10, however his rank is only 189. In the training space, to be able to make it to the top 20, naturally they are all strong, however some of them in the 30 to 50 ranks are not necessarily weak. Especially spirit reader hypnotists, they are all ranked above the 100s, in battle however it's a completely different story. The giant emphasized, hence you two must never get careless, otherwise, you'll be stepped on by others. Luo Feng and Rong Jun listened obediently. Of course, the training space does reflect some level of strength, from the many undyings here, watching the broadcast and concluding, Luo Feng, amongst our conclusions, you rank among the top 10. The scale-armored giant turned to look at savage Rong Jun. Rong Jun, you are within the top 20. Luo Feng and Rong Jun both remained silent. The giant looked at the 2 and paused for a while before saying, of course, in true battle, it depends on how you perform altogether, and also how you strategize and deal with your opponent. Anyone from the top 20 can make it into the top 10, the top 10 can still lose to anyone from behind. After all, everyone's strengths are pretty close. All right, you two go rest, you've both acquired your slots, there's nothing for you tomorrow. Get ready for the final slaughter. Even though there are 1,000 able to enter the core, the treatment within has big differences. The core itself has its lower and higher levels. Just like that death god Bolin, he'll definitely be able to enter the primal secret area. As for you two, work hard and do your best. The scale-armored giant said. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.